Hey there, hope you're having a great day. Like you can probably already see in the title of this video is going to be about sales. And not just any sales, but about the book, The Psychology of Selling by Brian Tracy. So I've read this book about half a year ago now, and I certainly recommend you also read it because it's just fully packed with value and with valuable sales lessons and everything. But in this video, I just want to make sure I summarize all of the core lessons and show you how you can implement those lessons to your own coaching business and really just turn any prospect to a high-ticket coaching client. And yeah, this video is going to help if you lack belief in the program that you're selling, if you feel like your prospects don't really trust you, if you have no idea of how to communicate effectively, if you can't handle objections, and if you're unsure of how to close the sale. So I'd say let's just start with the first section, which is the power of your belief. So your beliefs about yourself and also about your coaching program greatly influence your performance as a salesperson. And you have to genuinely believe in your abilities, in your knowledge, and also your expertise. This will positively impact your confidence and motivation. And your prospects feel that confidence, and this will make sure they trust you more. And in their minds, they're going to think, this guy is confident. He believes in what he's selling. And when he believes in what he's selling, I guess it's a good coaching program. And your prospects can feel that confidence and will therefore trust you more, resulting in you getting more sales and therefore getting more money. And to sum it up, you have to believe in your program. And if you don't believe that your program works, people are going to feel that and they're going to be uncertain about what you are selling. So if you're talking like, well, I don't know, my program maybe will get you results, they will feel that you're completely unsure of actually getting them results, and that will just lead to them obviously not buying. And if you believe, though, in what you're selling, people are also going to feel that. They're going to feel your confidence in your coaching service, and therefore they'll be more likely to buy, resulting in you getting more sales and your belief getting reinforced. So when they buy, your belief will get reinforced and you will think, oh, they bought from me. My service must be good, or my coaching program must be good, right? And then once you deliver on your coaching program, this whole belief system still plays a huge role. And here's something I've learned from Sam Ovens. And if you don't know him, he's an entrepreneur who ran consulting.com and now owns school.com. And he made a course about consulting. And what he mentioned in there is basically this flywheel, where it says that your beliefs lead to actions. Those actions will determine your reality, and that reality will give you feedback, which will again reinforce your beliefs. And this can either then build you up to be the greatest version of yourself or break you down till you consider taking your own life, like Sam Ovens said it. And you have to intercept this algorithm at the beliefs stage. But how do you do that? Well, Brian Tracy suggests to do it with affirmations, and he suggests repeating those affirmations out loud. Some examples of affirmations are, I like myself. This is the one that Brian Tracy recommends in the book. Plus, I've added some other ones like these. I won't read them out loud right now, but you can hopefully read through those and get some inspiration of affirmations you can use. You can always just also Google affirmations or find some inspiration somewhere else. But these are just some examples. But what you need to keep in mind when repeating those affirmations is not just saying them, but having a clear picture in your mind. So you're not just saying, I am a skilled and capable coach able to positively impact my clients. But you have to imagine helping your clients. So you're saying the affirmation and also having the picture about how that would look like in your head. That way you make sure the affirmations are as effective as possible. Now let's talk about expectations. Expectations influence your outcomes. And before going on a call with a prospect, just imagine them turning up to the call super excited to talk to you. Imagine them having a great day. Imagine them having a friendly manner. And also imagine them giving you only positive answers. And why that's important, I want to show you here in the second section, which is building rapport. And here we get to the first one, which is positive attitude and energy. And for this one, I just want you to imagine these two scenarios. So let's say you're the prospect and you're on a call with a coach. The coach greets you in a stressed and annoyed tone, so you already expect his attitude to keep being that way throughout the entire call. He asks you some questions and you answer them half-assed. And at the end of the call, he pitches you on his products or on his coaching service in this case, and you have no interest at all. Now, 2 days later, you have another call with a different coach. And you've already been following him on Instagram and have seen his posts. And you've seen his posts and you think, yeah, this is someone I'd like to be friends with. So then you get on a call with him and he greets you with a big smile on his face and a friendly tone. He talks to you, asks you some questions and actually seems to be interested in your life and how things are going. At the end of the call, you feel like you've connected really well with him and the coaching program is bought. Let me just have a quick sip of water. So of course everyone knows that it's great to greet someone with a friendly tone and be kind to them, but not many know why that's such a big deal. You see, when we are interacting with each other, we receive energy from the person we're talking to and we always try to match that energy. You may have noticed that when you're talking to a friend, when you're maybe not feeling well, but that one friend comes along with his big smile and lightens your whole day up, and there you can feel that you're trying to mirror his positive energy. And so when someone seems to be happy on a call, that makes us as well more happy. And when someone is tired on a call, we'll probably feel a bit sleepy too. And when someone displays a lot of positive and kind energy, we tend to also speak and act more positively. Alright, got how this whole thing works? I hope so. Let's get to the next section, which is the first impression. And for this, I just want you to think about this. When is the first time a prospect will ever notice you? Is it your content, your podcast, your DMs, or your community group? No matter where you're found by most potential new clients, make sure to leave a great first impression. For example, you can optimize your social media profiles, you can talk with energy, whether that be in your podcast, in your videos, or really anywhere where you're talking to your audience. You can give away more free value, or you can be more kind and welcoming when talking with prospects in the DMs, for example, or in a community group. Next one is building common ground. Brian Tracy recommends looking for commodities between you and your prospects. That can be shared experiences, values, or goals, or whatever. And this creates a sense of connection and helps prospects feel understood and supported. An example of this would be if you're a business coach and your prospect is telling you about a client retention problem he has. You can talk about your own experiences with client retention. And an example of that would look like this. I know that struggle, mate. When I was running, I also had that problem and found it so annoying. But after I did XYZ, it made my clients stay for 3 months longer on average. Or you could say something like, I know client retention can be super challenging. One of my students actually had the same problem last year. Before getting to work with me, he always told me how he hated having to sign new clients every month to keep running his business. But now that he's working with me, I helped him get that sorted, and now he keeps his clients for a year on average. Alright, now we're at section 3, which is effective communication. So first of all, let's talk about clarity and conciseness. Tracy emphasizes how important it is to bring across your message as clearly and concisely as possible. And that means whenever you're telling someone about your coaching program, make sure you explain it in a way that even a third grade student could understand it. And here I've just added a little statistic from the US. And we don't want to focus on this, but this last sentence down here, which is 45% of adults have a literacy below 6th grade level. That means that 45% of adults in the US talk worse than a 6th grade student, or they understand less than a 6th grade student. Just imagine that, 45% of adults. It's crazy, I know. And because of that, it's not just important to phrase your words clearly in sales calls, but also speak as clearly and concisely as possible when creating content. Because if you want to attract clients through content, you definitely have to dumb down your scripts. And a secret tip I've got for you here is just search for My Math Tables Readability in your browser and click on the first website that pops up, and you can just copy and paste your script in there and see how it was rated. And if it's rated above a 7th grade reading level, you definitely want to make sure to make that more clear and concise. We want to aim for a 4th grade reading level or even below that. So whenever you want to create a new video, just make sure the content is more clear and concise. And like I said, just go to My Math Tables Readability, copy and paste your script in there, and if it's around 4th grade reading level, you're fine, and even those 45% of adults in the US can understand you. Now let's get to understanding needs. And what I mean by understanding needs is to always listen to your prospects' needs and try to expand on them. A good way to get them to talk about their needs is to ask open-ended questions. So those are questions with how, why, or what, for example. You can use questions like, how do you think XYZ is affecting you right now? You can say, why did you hop on this call today? Or you can say something like, what are your goals for the future and how do you plan on achieving them? After having asked an open-ended question, make sure to listen attentively and actually come over as interested in their response. Now I got a little bonus tip for you guys, which is from another book called Spin Selling. Now I actually didn't read this book, but I saw a summary on YouTube and found it super interesting. And Spin Selling didn't originate from Brian Tracy, like I said, but rather from a guy called Neil Rackham, who wrote the book Spin Selling in 1988. And this is basically the concept of it. SPIN stands for situation, problem, implication, and need payoff. And if you want to drive a conversation forward from them talking to a complete stranger to them buying from your coaching business, this method of asking questions will definitely help with that. And examples of these spin questions would be a situation question like, what strategies are you currently using to acquire XYZ? A problem question like, what's holding you back from getting to XYZ? An implication question like, what would happen if you couldn't implement XYZ as soon as possible? And a need payoff question. For example, how would you feel if my coaching program could fix this problem in just XYZ days or months or years. And if you want to know more about this whole spin selling method, you can definitely check out a YouTube summary. I've found a really good one. I'll make sure to link that one in the description if I remember it. Or you can just obviously buy the book to get a deeper understanding of this whole spin selling concept. Now let's talk about why Brian Tracy suggests to value benefits higher than features. So when telling a prospect about your coaching program, you should always focus more on the benefits the prospect can expect rather than the features. Your prospects don't care about those at all, because they care about their improved mindset, their physique, their sales, their confidence, their relationships, their health, etc. You get the point, right? They care about the results or the benefits they get from buying from you, but not about how you get them the benefit. And this customer-centric approach will resonate better with your prospects. And why is that? Tracy highlights that people make buying decisions based on emotions and then justify those decisions with logic. And benefits have a greater emotional impact on prospects than features. Because if you're telling them about the result they're gonna get, like for example their improved physique, you're telling them, after working with me you'll have a body that you can feel confident about, instead of, with my coaching program I will change your diet plan, I will show you new exercises, or I will make sure you track your calories, whatever. You see how this benefit has a greater emotional impact than features? If so, then implement this and you'll see you'll sell much faster. Quantify your benefits. Quantifying benefits can help increase the perceived value without even changing anything about your coaching program at all. And the only thing you're changing is how you're phrasing your benefits. For example, you could say, my coaching program made specifically for dads will help them improve their focus. That's alright, but what's better is, my coaching program made for dads will help them improve their focus, leading to them spending less time on their work tasks so they can spend more time with their kids. So we went from just getting the dad a better focus to then also needing to spend less time on their work, which is another bonus, and also that leading to them spending more time with their kids, which is another bonus. So you see how we take this one benefit to 3 benefits by just phrasing it differently. Now I want to get to the 4th section, which is handling objections. And first of all, I want to say that you need to expect and embrace objections, because objections are a natural part of the sales process and should be expected rather than feared. And instead of thinking objections are bad, try thinking of them as opportunities to dive deeper into the needs of your prospect. And here's how you handle objections. First of all, you need to clarify the objection. So before even starting to handle an objection, try to clarify it to ensure you fully understand the prospect's concern. So for this, you can ask open-ended questions to get more context and specifics about their objection. For example, the prospect says, 1 hour of mindset work a day is too much effort. Then you can say, why is it too much effort for you? Then they'll probably say, because my day is already filled with so much stuff. Then you answer, how would that look like if you had an extra 3 hours a day? They reply, I'd obviously be able to put at least an hour and some extra effort into mindset work. You see, I helped client XYZ add an average of 3 hours to their daily schedule with my mindset protocol. How would you feel if I got you the same results? then they'll say, oh really, I would feel great and would have more time to spend with my dog. Then you can say, awesome, what are your bank details so we can get you started and get you an extra 2 hours daily? Because obviously 3 hours minus the 1 hour mindset work equals 2 hours. Now, I hope you understood how you clarify the objection. So if they're saying something like this takes too much effort, you ask them why it takes so much effort for them. And then they'll give you a more specific answer, a more specific concern, and then you can just counter that either with a testimonial, a case study, or something like that. Right, so let's now get to responding with information. So as you saw in that last example, I also used information to handle the objection. Like here, I am saying, you see, I help my client XYZ at an average of 3 hours to their daily schedule with blah, 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 blah. And you can use this information to handle an objection, to basically show proof that you can deliver on the results that you're telling them you can deliver. And information can be social proof, case studies, testimonials, or even results from your own experience. And like I said, people make decisions based on emotions, but then also justify them with logic. So if there's no logical information to trust you, the sale will likely not happen. For example, here's how you can improve this line. You can go from I can help you build the body of your dreams, guaranteed, to I can help you build the body of your dreams, just like I did with all the 21 clients before you. You see how you're taking these clients that you've had before as a proof that you can deliver on what you say you're gonna do. Because to be honest, who you gonna trust more? The guy who's saying he can guarantee you that your body will look different, or the guy who has already delivered on that promise and he's helped 21 clients before you build their dream body? Here, like I said in the second example, you can clearly see that there's an emotional reason, which is the yellow part right here, and also a logical one, so the prospects can buy your program and then also justify it with logical information. Now let's get to handling price objections. These price objections are usually the most common one in sales, and this is how Tracy recommends going about these price objections. So instead of immediately discounting the price, reiterate the value and benefits of your products and services. In this case, your coaching program, obviously. And you need to emphasize the return on investment and the long-term savings your coaching program can provide. For example, the prospect says, the program is too expensive for me. Then you, as a business coach, for example, would say, I get that a lot, but what if you tripled your sales in the next 3 months? Would this program still be too expensive for you? Then the prospect will most likely say, no, with triple the sales, I could comfortably invest in this program without any hesitation. Then you can say, well, because that's what happens in most cases when someone new buys my program. They at least triple their sales in the first 3 months. And if they still have price objections, you can obviously offer options, bonuses, or payment plans that make the purchase more affordable for the prospect. For example, with the payment plans, you can add stuff like weekly payments, or you can do monthly payments or even yearly payments, whatever works best for your prospects, and just iterate them and talk through them. If you can change something about the options, about the bonuses, about the payment plans, that will make this decision easier for them. Now let's get to the last section, which is ending the sale, or as some might say, closing the sale. In this section, I don't want to talk about necessarily getting a yes. This is more about getting a clear decision, whether that be a yes or a no. You should be able to expect a no whenever you're trying to close someone. But the worst answer you can get is, let me think about it. And that's what we're trying to avoid here. One way to end the sale are trial closes. So these are questions that you can add after handling your objection to see if the prospect has changed their mind or not. You can ask questions like, does that answer your concern? Or something like, can you see how this would benefit you? And this just encourages the prospect to reaffirm their interest and indicates whether the objection has been successfully handled. Now let's get to an actual method of closing the sale. So this is the approach close. With this method you can overcome the I have to think about it pretty easily. And what you do with this approach is you're basically setting the expectation at the beginning of the call and saying that you're expecting a clear yes or no at the end of the call. That could, for example, look like this. John, thanks for taking the time out of your day to talk with me. Please relax, I don't want to sell you anything right now. That's not the whole purpose of this call. All I want to do in the time we have together is show you some reasons why so many other people have bought my coaching program and continue to buy it. All I ask is that you look at what I have to show you with an open mind, determine whether or not it applies to your current situation, and then tell me at the end of our conversation whether or not this program makes sense to you. Sounds fair? And if they agree, you've then made a deal with them that you won't try to sell them anything as long as they listen to you with an open mind. A fair exchange, right? And if they now agree to this, you can demand a clear decision at the end of every call. If the prospect then says, well, I gotta think about it, I gotta talk to my goldfish about it, whatever their excuse might be, you can then say, didn't you promise me at the beginning of this call that you were going to let me know if this applied to your situation? And this sounds like a mean trick, but it's actually just a fair agreement, since you're setting the expectation from the beginning of the call that they'll need to make a decision at the end of the call. Now let's get to another method. This is quite the risky one. It's a demonstration close, and I gotta say I've never used that before, and I gotta say it's, like it says, pretty unique and not something for everyone, but I still wanted to include it. And this is great for everyone who has extreme confidence in their coaching program and believes it's worth every penny. And with the demonstration close, you're qualifying your prospects based on their financial situation. The demonstration close starts with a strong question aimed at the chief result or benefit that the customer would enjoy when he buys your coaching program, and simultaneously qualifies the prospect. And this could look like this. Let's say you're a finance coach and you're talking to John again. John, if I could share with you the best knowledge about stocks available, would you be in a position to invest $3,000 right now? This question shifts the whole focus of the conversation. It is no longer like, will you listen to me? It's more like, how much are you capable of investing if I can fulfill the promise contained in the question I just asked you? And if John then says, if your finance coaching program really is as good as you say, I'd be in a position to invest $3,000 right now. And you say, if you really liked it, could you invest $5,000 or more? John can either then say yes or no. In either case, you're qualifying John more narrowly and determining exactly what his financial situation is, even before you begin talking to him about your coaching program. And if the prospect says no to the initial price of $3,000, you can say, well, would you be able to invest $1,500 if it really was the best knowledge about stocks? You can just play around with this until you actually find out their exact financial situation. And from there on, you can just show them more about your program and what results you've gotten so far. And if your coaching program really is the best about stocks, John can't say that it's too expensive for him because you're already aware of his financial situation. And the only reason why he would say no is because your coaching program isn't really that good. And yeah, like I said, this is a pretty unique one and it's not for everyone, but definitely give it a try if you want to. And yeah, see how it goes and maybe also let me know if that works for you or not. Now let's get to creating a sense of urgency, and this is basically a rule you need to apply almost every time when trying to close the sale. And Tracy talks about the importance of creating a sense of urgency to motivate prospects to act. And urgency is used to get someone to act now. Not later, not when they have talked to their goldfish or when they've gotten permission from their husband or their mother or whatever. But how can you create urgency in a way that doesn't seem like you've just made up some random conditions to put urgency onto a prospect? An example of this would be, we can only handle 10 new clients this year. And this is called a total business cap. And with this, you're letting your prospects know that this is how many customers you can take on at the moment. And the great thing about this total business cap is that it's probably one of the most ethical ways to use scarcity to create a sense of urgency. And the only thing you're doing here is basically letting them know how many clients you can handle right now. You're not lying about any conditions or anything like that. You're just saying, like, this year I can take on 10 clients. Plus, if you got 100 clients till tomorrow, you probably wouldn't be able to handle that amount of clients. So why not just say how many you can onboard right now? So that was it for the summary of the psychology of selling. And the last section is just read the book. And yeah, seriously, if this was helpful for you and you've got some great valuable insights, I can promise you there's more in the book. I got the book right here. And I can tell you, I only mark the most important pieces of advice there is. So you can see right here, maybe you can, let me see. It's literally almost on every page I've marked something, and it's just insanely packed with value. And I can't even include everything that the book teaches in here, but I hope this video was still valuable for you. And yeah, I'd say this was it for the video. I hope you enjoyed it. Definitely let me know in the comments if you like these summarizations of books and how you can implement those into your own coaching business. And yeah, have a great day and peace out.